watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching Soulful Discussion.
Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
All right. And so, how did our paths just cross right now? How did we just meet today?
Just went for a dip in the ocean down at Capo Beach, and we
Pleasure.
just ran into each other. I was about to get back to my car, and you caught me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what did I approach you about? Like, what are we talking about
To
today?
do a YouTube interview on women's mental health, and I don't know, the other genres.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
sex life, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. In terms of the mental health, are there any topics you research and follow closely? That you're aware of?
Not so much.
Not so much. Okay. Well, today we're
Being
going to be
aware of
discussing.
depression and anxiety and all
That's
those
what we're
things.
going to be discussing, like an approach to that and like how to kind of deal with that and cope with it. So I'd love to get your thoughts on how you feel about that as we go along. What about reflexology? Are you familiar with that?
I'm more familiar with depression and anxiety because I suffer from it.
Okay.
But I've been doing really well over the years. And reflexology, not so much.
Okay.
No, I mean, not that I'm not knowledgeable in certain ways about it, but definitely not a field that I could talk about.
Okay. I'll give you some information in regards to that, something that may be helpful to you, okay? So let's jump into the questions, okay?
Okay.
What's something that you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the term weird for a reason. It could just be a
Okay.
hobby you have that other people might find to be strange or something.
Gosh, I can't think of anything right off the top
Do
of
you,
my
do you need
head,
some
but,
examples? Because I've like
Go
interviewed
for
quite a
it,
few.
bud.
So for me personally, like I'm an adult. I watch anime though, so like I enjoy it because like I like the artistic value of it and things like that.
Yeah.
I've interviewed one lady who said that like she likes Takis, but she just likes them so she could suck the like chili and stuff off of them. So
Yeah.
that was another one. Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy going to the grocery store, and that's like my favorite
Oh,
thing to do. Cooking, and I'll listen to music while I'm in the grocery store, and it's like my lunch break, my favorite thing to do. But I don't think people would think that's weird
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there may not
But
be a lot of
maybe
people who like
enjoy that
enjoy
or
that,
agree
absolutely.
with me.
Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or body part before?
Yes, of course.
Is that something you still deal with today, or you kind of have a control over it already?
I have somewhat of a control, but it's been a struggle for my whole life for sure.
I see. So what are some steps, because you said you kind of have a control over it, what are some steps you took to kind of like not let it bother you as much?
Affirmations, like telling yourself in the mirror nice things about yourself, even though you don't want to sometimes.
Nice. Yeah, and there's a couple of people I actually follow on Instagram who like they do affirmations and
Yeah.
things like that.
I'm not that consistent with it, but it's all a mental game, I guess.
Exactly. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, it doesn't have to be physically, what would you change?
Not overthinking so much.
No, but thank you so much. Yeah, and that's actually part of like the mental health that I discussed today. Kind of like people who overthink situations and like don't live in the moment. So
Yeah.
that's one of. So now I'm not gonna ask you the questions about feet because you already said that you weren't feeling comfortable. So
You
I'll
can
just.
fucking ask it if you really want to.
Okay.
I'll not answer if I don't want to.
Okay. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
Oh, they're great.
They're great. Okay. Cool. Have you ever received any compliments before your feet?
No, I have not.
No. Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Okay. How would you feel if a guy did compliment you on that? Like if somebody complimented you, said you had nice feet, would you?
It would be fine. I actually have a friend, so it's justfeet.com. He just started
Oh, okay.
in the last year.
Really?
You guys should follow him and
Okay.
get on
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
website.
You said just feet.
Just JUST.
Does he do like foot photography and
.com.
things like that?
Yeah, so it's going to be like a full social media platform as well.
Sweet.
But women like sharing and people, the whole thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's
I'm
kind of like what
not
I'm doing.
familiar with it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm doing.
Someone I went to college with and grew up around here, he just started it, and I think it's going to do very well.
Okay.
So
Cool.
maybe it's a good way to plug it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely
Get you
plug
in
it
touch
in there.
with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would your thoughts be on dating someone who's into feet? Would that be something you're for or not for?
I know people that are into it. It wouldn't be something that I'd physically want to like engage in much, I guess is a better way of or my way of putting it,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to give a foot job anytime soon. I'll just fucking say that.
How often do you get pedicures?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before?
No.
Okay, so it's like when you go see a podiatrist. Podiatrists like specialize in feet, and they basically take a look at like your nails, your toe alignment. They look at like see if you have any dead skin, fungus, anything like that, and they do all the work there. It's like medical grade equipment that they use, so it's like a lot cleaner than going to like a nail salon.
Yeah.
Would that be something that like you would like look into, or?
I'm not like super scared of getting an infection or something when I go to get my pedicures, so I wouldn't like currently think about spending more money on one, to be honest. But
Yeah, they say that so the podiatrists, a lot of times when people come to see them, they say that people should go out, like try to come see them at least 3 times a month, just to like keep the upkeep.
3 times a month. I
Well,
don't see
because
anyone
not
3 times a
3 times a month, every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
You're like,
I was
that's
like,
way
I
too
don't
much.
fucking see anyone that often. Not even my
Yeah.
best
So
friend.
they say every 3 months because you want to keep the upkeep, because a lot of times what happens is people wait later on in life when they have like a lot of problems.
Yeah,
and then
there's
it's
a lot
like
of
too late.
toxins that can come out.
Exactly. So yeah, that's something that's interesting. Your buddy might want to look like to telling people about that.
Or maybe get some advertisements going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops?
Every day.
Every day. Cali, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. How often do you go barefoot?
Not that often, I guess. Like more at home.
You ever heard of earthing, grounding?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you practice it or
No, I don't
believe in
practice it. I do believe in it.
Okay.
Actually.
It's a small part of
Yeah.
reflexology in terms of like grounding and stuff, just because like.
I mean, I'm here for a reason right
Absolutely, yeah. Out here just like relaxing
now.
and
Getting
stuff.
a part of Earth in me.
Absolutely. All right, and so now can we see what you're feeling about the push?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you put them here or me?
I guess. Yeah.
All right. And what size do you wear?
7.5.
7.5. Does it vary depending on?
7.5.
Okay, so
If you
depending
make
on like
any money off this, you have to give it.
No,
to
it's
me
going
now.
on my YouTube. The only thing I do in terms
just
of like
messing with you,
any
man.
pictures I may take is I post it to my Instagram as like a way to like cross promote, but that's it.
You're all good. I'm
All
not
right.
even worried
And can you
about
extend
it.
your legs out so we can see the bottoms? All right. All right. So how are you feeling so far during this interview? Like, how's the process for you? Is it good, bad?
I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Now let's jump into the mental health. I'm gonna tell you about like why I got started in this process. So watching the guys.
And I'm gonna give you like a 2-minute,
Huh?
2-3 minute countdown.
Oh, sweet.
Only
Yeah.
because I got
No,
it.
that's all we got left
Okay.
anyway. So the mental health he was talking about was called DBT. Are you familiar with that term?
No.
So it's dialectical behavioral therapy.
Okay.
It's for people who suffer from anxiety and depression, people who tend to like not live in the moment, like they overthink the situations they're presented with. So what therapists prescribe for these people, let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers, they would prescribe for you to go out and approach strangers, right?
Well, that's
Exposure
obviously
therapy.
not
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
I'm just kidding. Or you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know
Unless
what?
it
I've
is
actually
so
dealt
that
with that in the past. Yeah, exactly.
Well, good for you for
So-
walking out of your car and
Exactly.
saying hello to me and
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at it because of like
Sure,
watching
sure.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like exposure therapy. They want you to get used to like the uncomfortable feelings that come along with like maybe you have a problem with meeting new people and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So what you do in the moment when you feel uncomfortable is you do a self-assessment and you ask yourself like, what's the worst that's going to happen to me like going through this situation, right?
Yeah.
And what they want you to do is do the opposite of what you're feeling. So if you're feeling like withdrawing, they want you to proceed and like approach.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Like any feelings in terms of that?
I don't think it's a negative thought necessarily. I think that for people that suffer with different things, they need different mechanisms to figure out how to approach situations. I would say for a dating thing, like don't tell a man to keep going for it if someone's not responding, or to approach someone if they're not someone that seems like they want to be approached.
Yeah.
If we're going into that field, but
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
we all figure out different ways to
Yeah, it's
make stuff work.
a case by case basis, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's talk about reflexology so you know a little bit about it. So reflexology deals with the different pressure points we have in our hands and our feet.
Okay.
And these pressure points correlate back to other parts of our body. So through massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can actually like alleviate stress and tension throughout your body. So if you like suffer from migraines, there's a portion of your foot you can massage that can like promote like getting rid of that tension that you're
That's
feeling.
cool.
If you have like congestion because you're sick, you can massage a different part that can get rid of like a lot of that congestion that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about that?
No, it makes sense. The body's connected in every way, I think.
Cool,
Like,
cool.
There's
sort of
with
like a
pain
map,
in some
right?
way.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap up the interview now. I know you said you only got a couple more minutes left. In terms of my approach, walking up to you, asking you about doing the interview, was it good? Was it bad? Something
You
I
were
can
totally
work on?
fine. You didn't catch me on the best day ever.
Absolutely, yeah. You talked a little bit about that.
Going through a hard time right now, but
Absolutely. In terms of the interview, start to finish, did you see how everything was going in a line? Did it make sense to you?
yeah, it made sense. You did a great job.
Did you learn anything new from the information? Or?
Yeah, a little bit about the reflexology and keep my mind open in other ways.
Cool. The last thing I always ask for the women to do in terms of the mental health aspect, maybe a life lesson you learned, some wise words of wisdom somebody imparted to you that you could pass along to my channel that could be helpful.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
I know it's rough.
My brother passed away 2 days ago, so I won't share this. Just fucking love the people that you love and tell them. And I feel like I lived my life in that way and I don't regret anything, but just love everyone the best you can, and the different, like, even just people walking by today when I was a little stressed out sitting here at the beach after a swim, I kind of thought, like, looking at them, looking at me crying, of like, you just cross different people every day, and if you can kind of smile or give them like a tiny bit of nice rather than the evil and shit that's going on in the world right now, just give it. Just do like the tiny little bit that you can in the moments that you can. That's what
Thank you so much. I appreciate I know it was kind of hard for you.
No,
Appreciate
it's
you
okay.
going through the process and doing the interview with us, okay?
Yeah,
You have a
absolutely.
great one, okay?
Thank you.